This video is not meant to make men hate women. It is meant to stop men from slowly turning into emotional ATMs without realizing it. There is a specific type of woman who does not truly want a man, his presence, or his leadership. What she wants is a sponsor. She is rarely obvious about it. She does not act cruel or aggressive. Instead, she speaks softly, looks at you with warm eyes, hugs you tightly, and smiles while quietly attaching price tags to the relationship. Many men miss this because nothing feels wrong at first. It feels normal. It feels like love progressing. But over time, you begin to notice a strange pattern. Peace only exists when you pay for it. If you feel that money is the main thing keeping her affectionate, that you are always paying to maintain harmony, or that the relationship feels like a subscription you are afraid to cancel, this video is for you. What follows are 5 subtle signs most men ignore because each one, on its own, sounds harmless. Together, they expose a relationship built on transactions, not desire. At the end, there is a simple test that reveals everything without arguments, without insecurity, and without confrontation. The first sign is that her energy changes based on your spending when you are paying. She is affectionate. She replies quickly. She calls you baby. She laughs at your jokes. Her voice is soft. She has time. The moment you slow down financially, something shifts. She becomes busy, tired, distant. Her tone sharpens. Suddenly you hear phrases like you've changed or you're not romantic anymore. But the truth is, you didn't change. The payments did. You see it in small details. When you send money, her voice warms instantly. When you do not, it turns cold. Buy food and she is cheerful. Suggest something simple and she complicates it. When spending flows, she has time. When it stops, she suddenly has standards. Slowly, she trains you to associate her happiness with your wallet. She makes you feel guilty for noticing. You start blaming yourself. You start spending not because you want to, but to avoid her mood, her silence, her disappointment. Real attraction does not work like a switch that turns on and off based on money. A woman who genuinely likes you still enjoys your presence when your wallet is quiet. She values time, connection, and emotional safety. When you ignore this sign, something dangerous happens. You begin managing her emotions instead of leading your life. You stop asking, "What am I paying for?" and start asking, "What did I do wrong?" That is the moment you stop being chosen and start being managed. In the next part, we will uncover the second sign, where benefits are demanded before commitment, and how many men unknowingly enter a business arrangement while believing they are building a relationship. The second sign is that she demands benefits before commitment. This is where many men quietly cross a line without realizing it. You are not officially her boyfriend. There is no clear agreement, no defined direction. Yet you are already expected to perform like one. You pay for her hair, her nails, her phone data, her transportation, her rent support, her shopping, her small emergencies that somehow never stop. Each request seems minor on its own, but together they form a lifestyle you are funding. When you ask for clarity, she slows everything down. She says she does not want to rush. She says she is not ready for a relationship yet. She says she needs time to be sure. Notice the contradiction. She is not ready for commitment, but she is very ready to receive benefits. She is uncertain about you, but extremely certain about what you should provide. This is not confusion. This is comfort. At this point, the relationship stops being emotional and starts becoming transactional. You are no longer building something together. You are operating inside a business model where you pay up front and hope for future returns. Many men end up in the role of an unofficial boyfriend, carrying responsibilities without rights. You sacrifice, invest, and show up. While she retains the option to say, "We were never serious," whenever it benefits her. She often justifies this with emotional language. She says she wants to feel safe first. She says she needs to see consistency. But consistency, in her definition, only seems to apply to your effort and your spending, not to her loyalty or availability. She is comfortable staying on the fence while enjoying the view on both sides. She is not torn. She is not conflicted. She is simply benefiting. A common mistake men make here is confusing provision with masculinity. A man provides for his woman, not for a woman who is still deciding whether he is worth choosing. Investment makes sense when there is mutual respect and a shared direction. Support makes sense when there is accountability. Giving makes sense when there is commitment. Without these, you are not being generous, you are being drained. A woman who respects you will not extract resources from you while keeping you emotionally suspended. She will not consume your energy while avoiding clarity. She either steps in or steps away. She does not sit comfortably in the middle, eating for free. When a woman truly values you, she understands the commitment is not something she delays while collecting benefits. It is something she offers alongside them. If you find yourself constantly helping, constantly paying, constantly showing up, yet still hearing, let's see how things go. You are not building love, you are sponsoring a lifestyle. And the longer this continues, the harder it becomes to regain balance without conflict. In the next part, we will explore the third sign, where she only contacts you when she needs something, and how this pattern quietly reveals whether you are valued as a partner or used as a solution. The third sign is that she only contacts you when she needs something. This is one of the most emotionally confusing patterns because it disguises itself as vulnerability. Ask yourself an honest question when she texts you. Does it usually begin with genuine interest in you, your day, your thoughts, your state of mind? Or does it quickly turn into a problem that needs fixing, baby? I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? You're the only one I have. Notice the rhythm when her life is smooth, when things are going well, when she is entertained and comfortable. She fades into silence. When a bill appears, when stress rises, when something breaks or becomes expensive, she suddenly remembers you. She does not call to share good news. She does not call to laugh with you. She calls to transfer pressure. You become her emergency line, not her emotional home. This is where manipulation often enters quietly. She opens with emotions to lower your defenses. She sounds tired, overwhelmed, fragile. Your instinct as a man is to protect and solve. She knows this. Once your heart is open, the request follows naturally. The problem is not helping someone you care about. The problem is when the entire connection is built around her needs and your usefulness. A real relationship is not a one-way flow of support. It involves mutual curiosity, shared presence, and emotional exchange. Ask yourself the uncomfortable questions. Has she ever supported you emotionally? Has she checked in on you when you were struggling and had nothing to offer? Has she shown up when you were not useful, impressive, or strong? If she only remembers you when life becomes expensive, you are not her partner. You are her solution. And when a man becomes a solution, respect slowly disappears. You stop choosing. You start reacting. You stop leading. You start fixing. You are no longer loved for who you are, but tolerated for what you provide. The most revealing question is simple. If you disappeared, would she miss you or miss the support you gave? Many men are afraid to ask this because they already feel the answer in their chest. When a woman associates you with relief rather than desire, the dynamic is already broken. Over time, she stops seeing you as a man and starts seeing you as a resource. In the next part, we will look at the fourth sign, where guilt, shame, and comparison are used to force spending, and why this method is so effective on good men who want to do the right thing. The fourth sign is that she uses guilt, shame, and comparison to force spending. This is where the dynamic becomes openly manipulative, but still difficult for many men to name. She does not usually ask in a calm, direct way. Instead, the request is wrapped in emotional pressure. If you loved me, you would. Other men take care of their women. Are you saying you can't afford it? A real man would handle this, or the most damaging one said quietly with a disappointed look. I guess it's fine. I'll figure it out myself. These are not conversations. They are sales tactics. The goal is not understanding. The goal is to make you feel inadequate as a man unless you prove yourself with money. Guilt attacks your sense of responsibility. Shame attacks your identity. Comparison attacks your ego. Together, they create a powerful emotional trap where paying feels easier than standing your ground. Most men can handle direct requests. A clear ask allows a clear answer. What breaks men down is emotional pressure. When your masculinity is questioned, when your worth is subtly insulted, you feel an urge to restore balance. You pay not because you agree, but because you want the discomfort to stop. You want to feel respected again. You want peace. Sometimes she does not even need words. Silence becomes the weapon. She sighs, she withdraws, she acts disappointed. The atmosphere becomes heavy. You feel like you did something wrong, even when you didn't. Eventually, you send the money just to bring back her smile, her warmth, her affection. You learn that paying is the fastest way to restore emotional stability. A woman who genuinely cares about you does not need to attack your identity to ask for support. She can express needs clearly and accept a no like an adult. She understands boundaries. A woman who is using you does not accept no. She negotiates with emotions. She fights the boundary instead of respecting it. Once guilt works, it becomes her default tool. Today, it's help with transportation. Next month, it's a phone upgrade. Then it's rent. Then it's a business idea. Each time, the emotional pressure increases. And when you finally say no with conviction, the mask slips. Suddenly, you are called cheap, weak, inadequate, changed. Here is the truth many men miss. A woman who is truly attracted to you does not need to threaten your masculinity to keep you. She feels safe with your boundaries. She respects your no. When every request becomes a test of your manhood, you are no longer in a relationship. You are in a courtroom. She is the judge. You are the defendant. And money is the evidence you keep presenting to prove your worth. In the next part, we will uncover the fifth and final sign. What happens when you say no and how she punishes you for it, revealing the clearest proof of whether she values you or only what you provide. The fifth and most revealing sign is how she reacts when you finally say no. This is the moment where everything becomes clear. When you refuse a request, does she remain respectful, calm, and consistent, even if she feels disappointed, or does she punish you? Many men discover too late that the punishment is not loud or dramatic. It is emotional. She becomes cold. She withdraws affection. Her replies slow down. Her tone changes. She acts distant, irritated, or suddenly uninterested. Sometimes she escalates it further by disappearing, starting unnecessary arguments, making subtle insults, or saying things like, "I don't think this is going to work," or "I didn't know you were this kind of man." The message is simple. Compliance brings warmth. Resistance brings pain. This is not love. This is conditioning. You are being trained the same way animals are trained. Pay, and you are rewarded with affection, peace, and access. Refuse, and you are punished with silence, tension, and emotional withdrawal. Over time, many good men respond the same way. They send the money to restore peace. They apologize even when they did nothing wrong. They chase affection as if it is something they must earn back. Slowly, you stop being a man in the relationship and become an anxious wallet. You no longer act from desire or choice. You act from fear of conflict. You learn that saying no costs you emotional safety, so you stop saying no. This is where attraction dies. Respect fades. What remains is control. A woman who genuinely likes you can hear no and still feel safe with you. She may be disappointed, but she does not turn into a stranger. She does not attack your character. She does not threaten the relationship to force compliance. For a woman who is using you, no is interpreted as disrespect. The punishment is meant to reset the system and teach you that boundaries are expensive. She may stay with you for a while after this, but she no longer admires you. She manages you. And when the opportunity appears, when a man with a larger wallet or fewer boundaries shows up, she leaves and explains it by saying, "You changed." In reality, you stopped paying for control. This sign removes all doubt. A woman who punishes you for saying no does not love you. She loves what you do for her, and the moment you stop doing it, the relationship reveals what it truly was. In the final part, we will tie everything together and deliver the core message every man needs to hear before he learns this lesson through exhaustion, shame, and emotional burnout. Before closing, there's a simple test that exposes everything without arguing, without emotional games, and without you needing to explain yourself. This test is not about being cold or manipulative. It is about observing reality without interfering with it for a short period of time. You stop overgiving. You do not announce it. You do not threaten. You do not lecture. You simply return to normal. Reasonable behavior. You maintain the same tone, the same presence, the same respect, but you remove unnecessary financial support that goes beyond mutual responsibility. You still communicate. You still listen. You still show interest. What you remove is the extra money used to smooth emotions, prevent conflict, or buy affection. Then you watch. A woman who genuinely values you may feel disappointed, but she remains consistent. Her interest does not disappear. Her warmth does not collapse. She does not become hostile. She adapts. She respects your boundary, even if she does not love it. A woman who is using you reacts very differently. Her mood shifts quickly. Communication drops. Affection fades. Tension appears out of nowhere. She may accuse you of changing, becoming selfish, or not caring anymore. She may create conflict where none existed. She may suddenly question the relationship itself. This reaction is not confusion. It is exposure. The test works because you are no longer funding the illusion. You are not fighting her. You are not trying to win. You are simply observing what remains when money is no longer the emotional glue. What stays is real. What leaves was rented. Many men are afraid of this test because they fear loss. But the truth is, if removing excess spending causes the relationship to collapse, there was nothing solid underneath. You did not lose love. You stopped paying for access. This test saves years of emotional exhaustion, financial regret, and silent resentment. The most important part is your internal response. Do not rush to fix discomfort. Do not rush to restore peace with money. Let the discomfort teach you. If she pulls away, let her. If she becomes cold, stay calm. If she pressures you emotionally, remain grounded. You are not punishing her. You are simply refusing to buy connection. This test does not require confrontation, because confrontation invites manipulation. It does not require explanation, because explanation invites negotiation. It requires only consistency. When a woman senses that your boundaries are calm and immovable, her true intentions surface naturally. Once you see the result, you will know exactly where you stand, not emotionally, not theoretically, but practically. And clarity is far more valuable than comfort bought with money. In the final part, We will bring everything together and deliver the core message every man needs to hear before he learns this lesson the hard way. Here is the truth that ties everything together. A man's job is not to purchase love. A man's job is to build a life, protect his peace, and choose a woman who adds calm, not invoices, when you are with the right woman. Generosity feels natural, not pressured. Support feels mutual, not demanded. Your value is not measured by what you pay, but by who you are. Too many men learn this lesson only after they are drained, ashamed, and emotionally exhausted. They wake up one day realizing they spent years trying to earn affection that was never freely given. They confuse sacrifice with love and endurance with loyalty. But love does not require you to disappear as a man. If a woman's affection rises and falls with your spending, she is not attached to you. She is attached to what you provide. If she needs benefits before commitment, she is not building with you. She is extracting from you. If she only contacts you when she needs help, you are not her partner. You are her solution. If she uses guilt and shame to force spending, she is not communicating. She is controlling. And if she punishes you for saying no, that is not love under stress. That is love revealed. Men who respect themselves do not argue with these patterns. They step back and observe. They stop trying to prove worth with money. They stop negotiating boundaries. They let actions speak. And when they do, the wrong woman removes herself naturally. This video was never about hating women. It was about protecting men from becoming emotional ATMs without realizing it. There are women who love deeply, respect boundaries, and choose men for who they are, not what they fund. But you cannot meet them if you are stuck paying for someone who was never yours. If this message resonated with you, comment "I'm not an ATM." And if you want part 2, where we break down how to attract women who genuinely desire you and how to set boundaries without losing attraction, make sure you subscribe.